a snake to the meeting now.
No, I don't think it was even a snake. It must have been like a skink or something.
Okay.
I just went to check. What the people? How are you? After a long time. Where is
See, all the big guys are meeting in Delhi, right?
Correct.
Uh,
Yes.
uh, and here all the lesser mortals are meeting in Bangalore.
But
We
some
are having our own AI summit.
but some funny things, right? Something was lost. Some
Yeah.
device got lost. All sorts of things are happening.
But people also, the thing is, it's quite a strange thing. And people are like, unrelenting, unforgiving. Like, even it's full of, UPI is not okay. UPI is not working fine. Got it. Now, to make such a big fuss that you weren't able to buy a samosa is a bit of a. What are you there for?
I mean, I don't understand. There are idiots who are quoting in that summit. Like today, three people from India can, open a startup and compete with Salesforce. That's like, hello, have you lost it? How can you make such statements? So,
There was also some
yeah.
tweet about Wipro using some Chinese product,
Yeah.
claiming it to be theirs, no?
Was it
Yeah.
Wipro? Was it not that was that university? No, did that
No,
Galgotia?
both Wipro and Galgotia, both. Yes.
Oh, gosh.
It's hilarious. It's damn funny. But anyway, but good to have everybody finally on this after a long time, no?
Right, yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Yeah, in this year, this is the first time where I think all of us are together.
No. It's happened once before. I clearly remember that.
This year only. This year.
This year, I think there's a
No.
This year.
Oh, okay. I missed the this year part. Okay, sorry.
Nice. So what's up, people? How's it been?
So talking about AI Summit, right? I think something that I am following very closely is Server AI.
Server AI.
So, I mean, they've launched a bunch of stuff, and something that I had tried for my the product that we are building a few months back. So, I mean, I attended a conference also where they were presenting 6 months back. They were not ready yet, but looks like, I mean, at least what they've, I mean, I still have to try it out, but what they've presented so far, they've built something really interesting, something that challenges what Gemini has built for Indian languages. So looking forward to just trying it out and see if it cuts if it meets the bar.
Nice, including some.
This is that guy Vijay Raghavan, no? Rajesh?
Vijay Raghavan and
Vijay Raghavan, no?
Yeah.
Including
so
some,
and they launched
launched a wearable also, no?
Sorry, lots of.
Didn't they launch a wearable as well?
Yeah, correct. They launched a wearable KAZE. I don't know how is it pronounced. Kaze. Yeah, they launched it yesterday, I think.
Okay.
And I think today's big news is they launched a set of open weight models, which are built from scratch. They're not like distilled from, or they've not fine-tuned models. So it's like built from scratch. So it's like we have something from India in the open source open weight models now. Hope it's not hype and it's actually reality. So just looking forward. I mean, have some.
Weren't they originally built on Mistral, Rajesh? Was that? I remember reading till there.
No, it was earlier. Yes, I remember. I mean, they were doing that, but today's announcement explicitly says it's not fine-tuned. It's built from scratch. I mean, the first slide itself says built from scratch. So that's interesting.
Right. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No, so I mean, I've tried some of their models, just playing around with it. It looks like, I mean, yeah, it's doing well. I'll have to test it on the use cases and see how it's doing.
Right. So you have a lot of use cases around Indian language, reading Indian language.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you remember the insurance use case, right, where we have to read FIR charge sheet documents and witnesses. They're handwritten in Indian languages, Gujarati, Kannada, Tamil, right? So yeah, so there are use cases there.
Okay, nice.
Even for us, a lot of the legal papers we are looking at has a lot of old records that are in the local language, right? The old records of lands and all of that are all in local languages. So Gemini has been doing it well till now. You're saying even this is pretty good. So
I
I'll
mean,
take a look.
yes. So far, we've not tested it yet. Uh, just some samples and all, but let's see.
Hmm.
So they also have a on-device version, Edge. They have an Edge model as well.
Nice. Do you know how many billion parameters?
No, I don't remember now. Seven होगा ना? Seven usually 7, 8 is what
हाँ,
typically
780
available
होना
है.
चाहिए. Yeah,
हाँ.
5 to 8 billion.
Hmm.
Yeah, cracking Indian languages is hard. I think, we've been, there's this whole big team in Google which sort of focuses on I-18N. It's a very hard problem to solve. Especially there is so much of colloquialism that gets built in. So it's a hard one.
Hmm.
So I remember a use case from microfinance.
Hmm.
We had somebody come in and they wanted to use, translation, right? And so microfinance, Hindi has its own microfinance terminology, which are not 1:1 translation. Kist,
Just, yeah.
for example, right? So it was, and a lot of that comes from Urdu. Um, uh, and so on and so forth. So it's, every domain has their own peculiarities, and I'm not even going consumer. I'm just talking about business, uh, needs. So it's a very hard problem to solve. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see some early results, what they have done, what their set of benchmarks are, how they have evaluated.
I mean, benchmarks is something that I've stopped trusting, right? I mean, after, especially,
Yeah,
I think the Gemini fiasco, right? Gemini 3 fiasco, at least from my perspective, where benchmark looked really great, but finally, usage-wise, it did not match up to our expectations. So I think take it with a pinch of salt nowadays.
Cool. What other interesting thing happening?
No, you have to tell me, Sandeep. You have to tell what's up. I
Oh,
mean,
I absolutely loved building that thing. It was just amazing that repost. So Deb and Prashant, I think I've told you independently, but Rajesh helped me with the cloud code. We spent what 1 hour, no, that night. We just
yeah,
spent
exactly 1 hour. Yes.
exactly 1 hour. We had a fairly working model by then. I mean, obviously, database connection and pushing it to the server and things like that needed work. But what I wanted was done in just about an hour. And after a long time, I was using terminal. So was just getting the hang of it. But once I got used to it, I think it was fantastic. I think 1 week I fiddled around, and made a lot of these small enhancements. But of course, Sharath had to spend ridiculous amount of time. I think we spent what 3 hours, dude, that day for implementing some database connection issue we had. It wasn't working on DigitalOcean, so we had to go to Vercel for database. So that took a little bit of time. But other than that, it has been fantastic. Like just simple things, right? Like example that whole honeypot field, which I didn't even know that there is something called a honeypot field. Instead of a captcha, uh, you can actually do like a hidden thing. And for me, it was like a question that I asked, saying that I don't want a captcha, but how do I stop spam from being using my Vercel anyway was giving me only 100 mails a day. If spam was using all of that up, and it would have been a mess. So then honeypot field was introduced. So that a lot of small enhancements happened. So a lot of learning in that sense of building something like from scratch. Even though I didn't code a single line, just being able to think through every scenario. Like even in the messaging system, there were conditions that I finally had to put. Like if you don't have credit and you have got a message, then I wanted a lock symbol on it. Like you know that it is locked, and you know have to unlock it by sending a message. But at the same time, let's say you have credits and you haven't read what is in your inbox. I didn't want a lock symbol. There you have a credit, so you don't. It's not like you have to unlock it. You just have to open that email, right? So things like that, a lot of these small things that I had to like constantly work on. and build it. And finally, from a use case or from an external user perspective, fully happy, like absolutely happy. Even backend wise, I don't think I needed anything other than what I have currently. I've created a admin dashboard, and that gives me information. What I don't have access to are the messages. I will have email IDs of all the users. I'll only have access to messages if somebody reports an abuse. Then that message comes and you have to like take a call on it and whatever. But it was damn cool. I mean, again, thanks to both of these guys who like helped me build it. Again, I told you this, like 10 years I've sat on this idea, and 2 years
I was
ago.
actually reading your post on just some time back about the 3 lakh quote versus the 2 hours. That I think summed it up really, really well.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was 2 years ago. I was in my head, I thought it was 4 years back. I think I told Rajesh it was 4 years ago. But I checked and went back and checked the email, and email still was there. And this is not like a big agency. This is like a smallish agency. And it was 3 lakhs. 8 resources is what he had said in that for this. I was like, wow. So yeah, now I'm excited about. Uh,
So what else are you building? What's
I
next?
need to. I'm
Wait,
not.
wait, guys. Even before what next? Even before what next? संदीप नानू का 3 लाख रुपए बचा है. पार्टी तो हमको देगा ना वो.
This is true.
राजेश and
By the way,
Sharath for sure. तेरा भरोसा नहीं है. So yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I have a few ideas, but I still haven't like conceptualized it in that sense. I'm on a $20 plan. I have a feeling I'll move to $100 very soon. So I'm just waiting to figure that out and then take it. But it's fantastic, dude. It's just so good. I haven't used
okay.
Cowork just yet. I've only used the chat and the.
But I would suggest start using the desktop app at least.
I'm using, yeah.
I think now that you started using it.
Yeah, desktop app I'm using. Yeah.
There is code also now in desktop.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's great. Yeah.
So I started using that. So it's it's been quite nice to get back to being able to build something like that. Yeah.
We are beginning to use Anthropic Cloud more and more for lots of long-running and otherwise it would have been very boring tasks. We did one entire migration of a storage type. We managed this reasonably large cluster of virtual machines for a customer who does some. I think I told I think Rajesh about it earlier. About they use AI to figure out traffic violations and things like that. The infra had been set up earlier by somebody else. We took it over about 8-9 months ago. And lots of redesign at the hardware level, right? So like they had set up all the work. So they had these machines. They had a central storage. They had a SAN, not a very high performance SAN, and they mounted this from the SAN onto the base machine and built the virtual machines on top of it. It was causing one heck of a lot of bottlenecking on the network side. Now, so we were trying to convince them to move to local NVMe storage on these machines, at least for the root disk or the VMs and things like that. Right? But they needed services. They needed to show us what you're saying. And all of the analysis, absolutely all of the network traffic analysis, the throughput analysis, where the bottlenecks, everything was done by Cloud completely, right? The migration of the machines, it had been set up in a very simple way earlier. It grew from your typical proof of concept to a commercial system without anybody actually doing a lot of the things that you need for a production system at that particular point in time. So the migrations to the new arc, everything was handled by Cloud. And I think and just the fact that you have somebody who works tirelessly like that for hours and days on end, we were able to compress the timelines on this by a significant amount of time.
This is using code, or is it? It's using code, Cloud Code. You mean?
No, using Cloud itself, using we use MCP, something called an MCP to connect to. Right? We use SH MCP or whatever. Right. Connect to, and then we just do whatever needs to be done. We just run absolutely on that particular infrastructure itself. Checks, tests, everything done. It's been quite an experience actually. The last couple of weeks is one very large migration that we handled. Almost all, I would say 60, 70, 80% of the tasks were actually handled by Cloud itself.
Damn cool.
Right? So this is quite amazing thing. And the even better thing is on the the before after, right? Showing the customer that this is the performance, this is the time. For example, your typical database queries were taking so long to run before, and this is what it's taking to run now. All of that was just so easy to put together. Right? Typically, this documentation reporting would have fallen on me or Ryan. We would have had to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 days collating the data, putting it together. All of those things. None of that was actually required. All that was required was for us to go through it. Make sure that we agreed with it in whatever way, and and we wouldn't have trouble when we were presenting it to the customer, right? That's all that we needed to do. So this has been quite a. The other interesting thing, you actually look at the usage statistics for our own team on cloud, on Anthropic, and what we realize is they're the really good guys. They use it very efficiently, etc. There are people who are not yet there. They're still either fairly junior or are not at the top level of the performance of the people in our team. They seem to overuse this. They're forever running out of tokens and all of those things, and then asking us, what can you just give me another $10 worth of tokens for today? Something I'm doing, kind of thing. And we said they actually tend to overuse it. That was an interesting observation that we had actually.
No, interesting. Because I've seen the reverse as well, right? Where some of the key folks that I follow on Twitter who are like hardcore coders. I mean, they are running out of tokens as well.
Right.
So because they're trying to run long horizon tasks. So I don't know if we can actually use that as a metric to say, okay, I mean, are you using it efficiently or
absolutely right. But the very specific observation to us. That's
okay.
what I'm saying. Yeah. And not a generalization at all. Right. But we see that. Something that both me and my partner noticed. That we're getting the requests from the people who are who still getting the hang of rather than delivering. Right. That's the distinction I'm trying to make. Yeah, so that way. That's been our week.
Nice.
So anybody has set up Open Cloud?
No.
I started it, but then I stopped after I heard all the security problems it had initially.
Right.
Yeah, but did not go through with that.
If somebody sets up, please share an endpoint.
What endpoint?
At least cloud instance.
So basically, it's not a cloud. No, it is nice. Yeah, so I don't have anything. I mean, I actually ran it on my laptop itself and
You ran it on your laptop.
my Telegram and WhatsApp, right? And I was chatting with it, asking stuff to do, right? But then, I mean, same as Prashant, after a while, I realized, I don't know, because if I keep running it overnight, what will happen? So I've just shut it down. But the fact that, you have something running on your laptop, which you can talk to, and like, for example, I just wanted to check, disk space on a server that I connect to from my laptop to see what is the disk space on that. I would have to then log into my laptop and check, right? I was, outside, I just message and say, okay, tell me the disk space on this SSH server I log into. So that was interesting that I can be mobile and get stuff done just talking to
This is like mold book. This is like mold book.
No, mold book is there are different things, right? So mold book is the social network part of it. So there is a layer that is the actual agent running. So your bottommost layer are your foundational models like Claude and all. Then you have this open Cloud, which is running the actual agent for you. I mean, it's running a set of agents, right? And then you have things like Moldbook and like a Facebook for these agents. So basically, I registered onto Moldbook. Then my agent that was there, it posted something saying, okay, I mean, we had we ran into some issue. When I say we, means me and the agent, right? We working together, we ran into some issues while figuring out how to register that agent on Moldbook. So it posted that saying that, okay, this will be useful for others. So let me post it that. And it's not like I did not tell it anything. Once it was set up, it automatically went ahead and posted it.
It's nuts.
So, yeah.
So there's
Got
one more
bought over by
interesting feature.
OpenAI, right? OpenAI just
Yeah.
they just acquired that whole.
No, the guys working there, and this
Right.
open Claude will be part of the foundation. So he's
We hired.
still pushing in changes and all. So I don't know what will be the future for this, but I
Right.
won't be surprised if OpenAI comes up with the product
Right.
in this space that you can install as a personal agent on your machine, which is like hardened on the security side, right? I mean, security was one issue. Other issue was performance. Just to post that one post, it took like almost like 30 minutes for it to be visible because a lot of people were accessing it at that time.
So you were going to say something, I interjected.
Yeah. So one more thing that trying out in Claude Code. So now they have a concept of a team agent. It's still in preview mode. So what you do is you say, okay, I have this task. You go ahead and manage it as a team. So instead of you having to micromanage, let's say some of the stuff, right? The team or the leader manages it, works with the sub agents, and then gives you status. And then you can also see the communication between the agent and the sub agents, where it says, okay, if the sub agent comes back with the data, says, okay, no, I think you're wrong. You do this. The user wants this, but you're giving me this, so go ahead and fix this. Right. So that was interesting. I mean, just watching one agent working here and then three sub agents talking and giving feedback, right? So I don't know. This is like they're mimicking a full team now. I mean, I've not found a use case yet to use it. It was just interesting to just try it out and see how the communication happens. You just need to say, okay, run three sub agents. I mean, or run sub agents. I mean, that's the command, and it'll do that for you.
What is
Copilot will help now for his awkward silence.
Prashant has been building a lot of these small things, and he's not.
Yeah, but I'm in this build, and then it just tapers off.
Yeah, he doesn't upload it. He'll just. What happened to that weather?
Prashant, show us some
Shiny
demos.
Sorry?
Show us some demos of what you're building, Prashant.
No. So mostly what we're doing, I mean, last week we were working on some new land for Good Earth. So I'm using a lot of these. So to do legal scrutiny before was a big pain. You're always dependent on you depend on other people to kind of figure out what they're saying. Now we take one chunk of documents, put it into Gemini, and then Gemini gives a nice title flow of the whole thing. Now more and more people in the office know what to do. So I'm more like setting up processes for the organization to see what they can do, and then I move on to the next shiny toy. But as a product, I have not figured out what to do yet. Like everything is interesting, and then you do nothing. No? So it's that kind of.
What
So in
about
our
weather app? You were doing one Malar weather app.
Yeah, now that has been delegated to Manju. Manju is finishing that. That's done and dusted, so no more.
This guy, I think somebody mentally he's put some AQI reading.
Yeah, Gaurav is doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, right now what we're doing, I'm using Claude for presentations now. It's so happy to flex its HTML skills. So because PPTs are quite boring. HTML is very nice. It looks, you can do transitions. You can do, it's almost like spatial, right? So moved away from doing boring PowerPoint PPTs to everything is HTML. Anything you want to present is HTML.
Nice.
Yeah, but again, small things in the office.
Sorry, Dada, you were saying something.
I was saying about the latest thing that is disrupting our lives. They have in our office, they have rolled out this whole capability for virtual SWEs. So SWE is a term that we use in Google, short for software engineer. Somebody who just codes and does stuff, right? And then we hire at the lowermost software engineering level, which is L3. Like an engineer who comes in can fix bugs and write some production code and stuff like that, right? So they have rolled out, L3 engineers on steroids now. So it's like every team has a TPU quota, and you say I want to spin off 2, 3, 5, 10, depending upon how much TPU quota you have, but L3 engineers, and you basically throw all the code base links, the design docs, blah 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 at them, and then point them that these bugs needs to be fixed. Go fix it. And for every software engineer that you spin, you have to assign a human engineer who will review an LGTM their code, which will also go away very soon. So now this has started. There's a pilot that started with our org, and it's doing pretty nicely. As in, it's able to fix a lot of bugs. So all the L3 engineers in our teams are all getting scared. All of these are their TPUs are cheaper than the salaries of L3 engineers, and it's doing more work.
No seating, no monitors to worry about, none of those things. Yeah, absolutely.
No growth to worry about, no emotional tantrums to worry about.
No
one-on-ones.
engagement, no employee, no Rangoli.
No Rangoli.
No Rangoli, yeah, correct.
You guys see that little thing that Bajaj Finserv put out about their about how much of their incoming requests for loans, etc., are handled by their AI?
No.
The question then becomes really interesting. Bajaj Finserv is doing buy now, pay later primarily to this young tech crowd. If they are going to be taking their jobs away, who then are they going to be selling their loans to? It's quite an interesting little circle that this entire thing is turning up into.
There is a broader question that we should all as a group discuss in one of our sittings is, see, if consumers as a whole get skilled as an audience, right? Then the whole virtuous cycle that we have of consumers buying and pumping money into the cycle will go away. What are they doing? Khardega kaun? So it's like, if you don't have money, so it's basically they are and they are building more and more AI for consumers, but consumers are people like you and me, people in tech who have money, who are consuming, who are buying, right? So I think in one way they are cutting off the circle eventually, but I don't see any replacement for that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Another thing is, we've been again, although we are going to definitely be exploring this side of L3 on the engineering side at least. We've been looking at hiring some junior folk again, and I'm telling you, this absolute glut of people with that 1 to 2 year experience in the services companies, at least people who work in Accenture, who are just available. And they're a small company, 35 people company, right? They're available with the experience level that we are asking for at our budgets. I'm talking about people with 3-4 years experience who are available for 6 lakhs a year, 7 lakhs a year. There are hundreds. We had only 2 openings. We have a very small hiring company that we work with. I told his name is Tanmay. I told him, I said, Tanmay, we're looking at hiring 2 people. That's it. We don't want to overhire at point in time. We're also automating a lot of our stuff. But we had this one short stopgap where we needed these 2 people to cover a few shifts that we had, right? And here Charles said 400 people have applied. And it's just there's an absolute glut of people out there at that 1, 2, 3 year experience level at this particular point in time. Right? And it just looks like it, and everybody is available to join immediately or within 30 days. They're all serving out their notice period or already around. It's a lot worse than a lot of people are making it out, I feel. The entire scene, especially on the jobs, entry-level jobs side of things.
I mean, I'm glad you said this, Sharath. I think these there are no numbers out there to sort of talk about this, but it is actually becoming worse day by day, unfortunately.
Absolutely. And all of us, we were fortunate to be able to start at those levels. That's what gave us what I would say 60-70% of what we know today. The base is that. Right, and then for that to be just cut away like that, this is trouble.
I mean, I realize. Yeah, go ahead, Sandeep.
No. I was just adding to it. So you're cutting that entire piece, right? Where what we built on, that layer is gone. There is no layer in it. What do you do then? What is the next step?
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm just going to say that, let's say, I mean, in my career, right? So every year I've taken at least, you know, two, three interns who've worked with me or juniors who worked with me, and I've mentored them, right? And of course, I was also mentored in my initial years of my career, right? The last 2 years, I mean, I've not done that at all, right? And I mean, I also feel like maybe, because I don't need any, because the agents are working for me. I feel like, okay, maybe just giving back to the community, probably I should just hire one or two just to give back to the community. But I realize, I mean, that's what I mean, so people who are young and graduating now are not getting the right mentorship for them to learn the tricks of the trade.
Yeah. And also the other thing, I think one of the fortunate, I think we were very fortunate that we didn't have to deal with so much conflicting advice and viewpoints. I was talking about one of my son's friends was here earlier in the evening. He wanted me to show him, run him through how to shift gears on his bike. He's going to be 18 and getting a license. And I'm saying, everybody's just saying, don't go to college. There's no point. None of those jobs that you're training for will be available when I get out in 3 years or 5 years time. Right? Said, what should I do? He doesn't have a dad in his life. His parents are divorced and whatever else. Right? But he like, what do I do? Everywhere I look on social media, on YouTube, wherever people say, don't go to college. MBA is the most useless degree for Indians. And there are other people who are pushing this entire thing of learn AI. And what do they mean by learn AI? They're saying learn how to use tools which are outdating themselves so quickly. Right? But there's no point, practically no point. If you learn how to use the tool that you have today at 60-70% efficiency, you're done. But then master it beyond that, something else has come. Right? And it's a very, very confusing space. And there's a large section of people who aren't decided. There are some kids who are very clean and clear. Right? They know that they want to do this and they're focused on it, and it doesn't matter what changes around them, they will go through. A lot of them are in fundamental stuff, physics and engineering and environmental science. That'll never change. The knowledge will never go will never go out of use. That's fine. But there's a big chunk of people who are go with the flow people. Why will I do a degree in accounting? Because that's what I got into. Right? And these people are being told that, you know what, but then you finish the degree, your jobs are not going, there's going to be nothing for you guys to do. Right?
So just to give a little bit of a color to what Sharath said in terms of how fast things are changing. So Demis Hassabis was here this week and we were all meeting him. So he was sharing numbers, right? So traditionally Moore's law, which is what the computer scientists used to swear by, basically used to say that every 2 years compute doubles, right? If you look at how foundation models are being trained now, every 2 months parameters are doubling. So can you see the difference between 2 years and 2 months? Yeah. So for example, when Google is thinking about new data centers, it's thinking about Gemini 12 or Gemini 14, 3 years down the line, that will come. What size will it be, and what kind of data centers would be needed, and so on and so forth. So this made me think in two different angles. One is to realize that speed of change that you said, Sharath, right? I think we don't grasp that speed of change. Of course, we see things changing very fast, but we don't grasp that the exponential change, like 1 billion, 2 billion, 4 billion, 8 billion, 16 billion, blah, 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 right? It's also exponentially growing.
Right.
Second thing also to think about is now if you really look at how AI is changing, then you have to, for people to figure out jobs, they have to really look at what are the shovels that would be invested in, right? Energy efficiency, data centers, all of these are again becoming very, very big problems.
Yeah.
Electric engineering is becoming a super, like in the US, they are hiring electrical engineers, from Berkeley and so on and so forth, because they want them to work on more energy efficient designs and so on and so forth. Right? So I think you have to be smart and you have to understand where the flow is going and where are the shovels, and then go figure out job opportunities in the shovels. They will happen.